welcome to Life in Envelopes. I am Jennifer Bleecher. In today's video, we are going to close out the 4th week of March for my budget, and then we're going to actually close out the whole month. So we're going to do those dashboard pages, and we're going to compare the income and expenses from last month to the income and expenses from this month and see how we're doing. We have a variable income, so it does vary a lot between months. And after we do that today, I am going to answer some of your questions. Most of the questions came from last week's budgeting video, but there are a couple that came from yesterday's Plan With Me video, so I'll be answering those as well. And I am going to answer this question that keeps coming up over and over again, so it's a big burning question of why isn't David helping me out more? So that question is going to be answered today in the Q&A section of this video. Okay guys, let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay guys, so let's start with where we spent our money this week. Starting with debt, we only had one debt payment, and that was to loan number 2. Loan number 2 is a debt consolidation loan, and we do make a payment to them every week. And then as far as bills go, we had several that came out this week. First, we had our 2 cash envelope bills that we do. We do set aside $5 for our garbage bill. We set that aside every week. We also set aside $10 for Alliant Energy, which is the gas for our house. And then this week we had Netflix come out. We also had Disney and HBO come out. Now here's the thing. I didn't realize that we still had to make a payment to Disney this month. I thought we were all done with that. So I need to double check with David. He's the one who starts the subscriptions and cancels them for me, when we want to cancel them. We try to only have 2 streaming subscriptions going at a time, and right now we were doing HBO and Netflix, I thought. So I need to just double check with him and make sure that we've canceled Disney. It could be a situation where it just was the last payment that had to come out before it's canceled. You know how that happens sometimes. Okay, we did go to 2 grocery stores this week. We went to Sam's Club and we spent $120. We also went to Fairway and we spent $100 there. So altogether that's going to be $220, which means we were above budget in our food budget, but we'll take a closer look at that when we get to the worksheet. Okay, we put $20 of gas in the tank this week. I was thinking, now that it's starting to get a little bit warmer here, it has me thinking about summer. Last summer, we had to increase this amount that we put in each week, so I'm wondering if it's going to be the same this coming summer. I'm assuming it will be the same. That every summer, I think gas goes up a little bit. Okay, we did go to Target this week, and we spent $23 there. Let's see, that was on the 27th. And then we also went to, we got our car washed this week, and that was $10. So those were our miscellaneous expenses. For spending, we only did Logan's spending this week because we had a smaller amount of income to work with than we would like. So we didn't do spending money for David and I, we just did Logan. Okay, let's head over to the worksheets and get those closed out. Okay, so starting here with our monthly budget. So we do a monthly budget with David's paycheck because he's paid once a month. And then we also do weekly budgets with my paycheck because I'm paid every week and I have a variable income. David's income is fixed, and that makes it really easy to cover our fixed bills with his income, most of our fixed expenses, so our bills and our debts. So he did make $21.28 this month. And this week we had Netflix come out and it was $17. We had HBO come out and it was $18. But we also had Disney come out, which I was not planning on. And that was $12. So let's see how much we spent all together on our fixed expenses this month. I got this new calculator from ERIN CONDREN. It was in the recent PR package that they sent me. If you didn't see that video where I did that PR unboxing, it was so fun. You should definitely go check it out. So we ended up spending $21.37 this month. So we had $21.28 to work with, which means we were over budget by $9 in our fixed expenses. Okay, so let's move on to the rest of the budget. Okay, so for week 4, we started with a positive rollover amount of $15 this week, and then we also added $400 as a payment from my business account. My goal is $528 each week, to pay myself $528, but that doesn't always happen. So this week we were only able to pay ourselves $400. So altogether we had $415 to work with. We decided to skip sinking funds again because we just didn't have the money this week to do sinking funds. So moving over to our fixed expenses, loan number 2 came out. That comes out automatically. So it's the first thing that we cover every week. So that came out and it was $142. We did set $5 and $10 aside for garbage and Alliant Energy. So altogether that was $157. So $415 minus $157 is $258. Okay, moving down to our variable expenses, and this wasn't exactly as we planned. We did go a little bit above budget in a couple areas here. So for food, we budgeted $200, but we actually spent $220. For gas, we did exactly $20. For miscellaneous, we budgeted $28, but we ended up spending $33. And then for spending, we did do the $10 in cash to Logan. So let's see how much that was all together. So altogether that was $283. So $258 minus $283 is a difference of $25. So we're ending the month with a negative $25 here for our variable expenses and negative $9 for our fixed expenses, which means we're gonna start next month with a negative balance. Oh, it's been a long time since that's happened to me, but that happens sometimes and you have to deal with it. Okay, so let's come over here to our dashboard and let's close out the month. Okay, so starting over here with our income. So last month we had $7,394. Now that's a lot. Part of that was because I received an inheritance, a small inheritance last month. So that's like way more than we normally make. So this month we only made $3,985. So our total income this month was $3,985. Let's take a closer look at each budget category, starting with bills. So we spent $744 on bills. Now to calculate the percent of income, the way I do that, I put the equation down here in case you ever forget, but you take the amount that you spent, so $744, and then you divide that by your total income, so this number here. So we're going to divide that by 3,985. And then we multiply that times 100, and that will give us our percentage. So, and then I round up. So 19% of our income went to paying bills this month. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and calculate the rest and then come back and give you all of the totals. Okay, so for debt, we ended up spending $2,021 towards debt, which was 51% of our income. For food, we spent $844, that was 21% of our income. Gas, we spent $80, which was 2% of our income. Miscellaneous, we spent $58, which was 1% of our income. For spending money, we spent $120, which was 3% of our income. And for savings, we were able to save $152 this month, which was 4% of our income. Okay, moving up here to our current debt. So we have 3 current debts, and I'm going to write the amount that we owe at the end of the month now that we've made a payment to each of these. So for loan number 2, we now are down to $18,317. For SUV, we are now down to $4,433. And for student loan, we are now down to $15,586. We actually didn't make a payment to student loan. It is still frozen. We're still not making payments on that. So really, these are the only 2 that decreased this month. So let's add this together and see what our ending balance was. At the beginning of the month, we had $38,941 of debt. So let's see where we are now. So we're at $38,336. So let's see what the difference is between that and what we started with. So that's a difference of $605. So we were able to pay off $605 of debt this month. That makes me so happy that even though this was a low income month, we're still making progress towards paying off our debt. So when we started on this debt journey, we owed $76,719. So let's take away where we are now and find out what our current grand total is, or for how much we've paid off so far since we started this journey. So far we've been able to save $38,383. That makes me so happy. Okay, friends, thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to do a Q&A right now, so I hope you stick around for that. But if this is where you're logging off, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and I will see you again next time. Okay, friends, it's time to get to your questions, but I just wanted to say really quickly, if you notice a little animal walking around in the background, that is Bubsy. Bubsy is Jacob's cat, and Bubsy's just hanging out with me today. Bubsy does what he wants to do. That's how cats are. That's my understanding. I am such a dog person. Bubsy is beautiful and kind and sweet. I just have to leave him to do his thing. Okay, so this first question comes from Texas Chica 1. Could David help for an hour or two each day, or could you all have a 4-hour family work session on Saturdays or Sundays where everyone pitched in? Family time plus working towards family financial freedom. Okay, so it's really 2 questions. So let's talk about David first, and then we'll talk about the rest of the family. So as far as David goes, he is willing to help me out anytime I ask him for help. I have a really hard time asking him for help. So back in December when Logan was in the hospital, it took me 4 whole days of being in the hospital with Logan before I asked David for help. It's just really hard for me to ask for help for a few reasons. One, David already works a full-time job, and it is a physical job. It's physically demanding. It's very hard on his body. It takes a lot out of him. And the second reason is when David does have free time, he has his own side hustles that he's working on. So he's constantly working on trying to make more money for the family too. He's always doing it through his art, and it's just not as profitable, you know, as what I do. But if you ever want to help support us through David's art, he does have an Etsy shop, and he does have a Redbubble website. So I will put a link to both of those in the description box below if you want to head over and check those out. But in addition to those, he's also doing other things with other artists trying to make money. I think it's just hard for artists to make money. As far as the whole family working together in here, unfortunately, I don't have it set up for that to work. Even when Jacob is helping me, I am out of the office. It's the way I have it set up with my printers and my cutting machine. It's just really a one-person workspace, and it's difficult for 2 people to be in the same space working. Sometimes David and I do that when I get really far behind, and he'll come in and help me, and we kind of work together, but even then it's kind of hard. It's much easier if he's working, because his time is so different than mine. He's awake at night and asleep during the day. So when he does help me out, it's easier if he's working when I'm sleeping and I'm working when he's sleeping, you know, so that like the office is continuing to run. But having multiple people in this space, it wouldn't really make a difference, unfortunately, logistically. I would have to make some changes. Okay, so this next question comes from Homesteading with a Purpose, and she asks, how about doing a life of an Etsy shop owner videos each week? You already are working, so you could do a video while you or Jacob are working. So I actually love making like those kind of videos. It's just very time consuming, and recently I've been trying to focus my time on filling orders so I can get ahead with the orders, and less time on making extra videos. But in the summertime when I have less orders, that might be a good time to do that. But yeah, I love those kind of videos. Okay, this next question comes from Julia Mears, and she asks, without speaking specifically about Logan's illness, could you perhaps qualify for disability programs offered for children who need more care during an illness or continued situations with their health, offered on the county level or the federal government? I believe Logan may qualify based on his illness. This would provide a supplemental income for your family while you are caring for his needs on a daily basis. God bless, and thanks so much. Okay, so you know, I don't know. We're in Medicaid, and we get a lot of assistance. We get help with a lot of different programs for him, but I don't know about qualifying for extra income based on that. I would have to look into that. Okay, so the next question comes from Trisha Anderson. I know you homeschool. Does your district have a homebound program? When my son was really sick, our district offered it. His teacher came twice a week to help him with his schoolwork. That would possibly free up a little bit of your time. Again, I don't know. I'd have to look into that. Perhaps. I'll look into it. Okay, so this next question is from Christine Wallace. Some of your PR friends are no longer producing videos. Instead, would you consider reaching out to those that are and doing collaborations to help increase views? You can start a new list of PR friends for those doing collabs with you. So I didn't realize that there's a number of PR friends who weren't making videos anymore. So I actually went ahead and removed them from the closing credits. So in the closing credits, it's just my patrons now, until I can go through the list of PR friends and see who's still making videos and who's not. But that's a great question, and I'm always down for collaborations. I would love to do more collaborations with other YouTubers. Okay, so this next question is from Jennifer Levy. I know it may sound odd, but just curious. A few videos back, you mentioned you own only 5 shirts. I think that's what you said, that you rotate. Do you have a capsule wardrobe or just a minimal wardrobe? So I have a minimal wardrobe, and my wardrobe is based on the theories of Jennifer L. Scott and her idea of the 10-item wardrobe. So she did a TED Talk where she talks about the 10-item wardrobe, and then she wrote a book, and now she has a YouTube channel. So I will put a link to that TED Talk down below if I can find it. This was years ago that I started incorporating this, but the whole idea is just having 10 core items that you can rotate through, high quality items that you really enjoy wearing, that you rotate through, and it just really simplifies your life. You don't have to purchase clothes all the time. You feel good in what you have because you know it's going to fit you and look right. And yeah, there's just a lot of other things too. So I'll put a link to that video down below, but I don't do exactly 10 items, but I currently, right now, I currently have 5 shirts that I go through. And then I have 4 pair of black pants, exact same pant, 4 copies of the exact same pant, and then I have 4 pairs of jeans, the exact same jean, 4 copies of those jeans. So I have 8 pairs of pants, 5 tops, and I rotate through them. And then in the summer, I think I have 4 black capri pants, yoga capri pants that I just wear with the tops that I wear in the fall, winter, and spring. And then I also have, I want to say 5 or 6 summer dresses that I wear all summer long. So yeah, that's my whole wardrobe. So the last 2 questions are from the plan with me that I shared yesterday. The first one is from Christine Wallace, and she says, has the block scheduling helped you stay on track? Just wondering because I work just off of a to-do list, but maybe using the timestamp would keep me from dragging my feet on some tasks. So I've personally found that the block scheduling really helps, but in addition to the block scheduling, knowing that at 12 o'clock Jacob's coming into work and I've got to leave the office so that he can get his stuff done in here, I know that motivates me and drives me to stay focused on the task at hand and get it done before he arrives. So I feel like the block schedule does help, but in addition to that, the thing that helps the most is knowing that at 12 o'clock I literally have to leave the office and certain things have to be done by that time. That's what's really helping me get caught up on my work. Okay, and this last question is from Lindsay B. Is it possible to make the small Liveridge Planner kit look just like the large Liveridge Planner kit? I have the small kit and I would love the uniform look of the large version kit. Not sure if it is, but I wanted to ask. Okay, great question, Lindsay. I love feedback on my products. So I'm actually going to be revamping both of those kits. I think the first time it'll come out will be June, because she's coming out with new planners in May, from what I understand. So once I get those, I can make new kits. And when I do, I am more than happy to make the small kit look just like the large kit. That's totally fine. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, will you please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you again next time. Bye everyone.